Hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and I'm joined by Susan Gregory, who is a divisional sales director for Purple Bricks, been working for some of the big agents in London. Thank you for your time today, Susan. The question I want to ask you in this video is, do corporate estate agents have a future in the UK? Talk to me.
Hi, Chris. So firstly, yes, they absolutely do, and they have to, because they provide probably some of our best training to the people coming through. They are so valuable to this industry that I'm incredibly passionate about. However, I caveat that with, and I think they need to evolve, and I think that some of them are. The areas where I'm most interested in is actually the kind of management leadership development side of our larger corporates. I've, the last couple of years, been speaking to quite a few of them and different recruiters about their setup, and I just am concerned that they're going to start to struggle to attract really good people. And what I mean by that is actually the way that they reward, motivate, train, develop is starting to maybe not work for how people want to work and work-life balance, etc.
Interesting you use the word hierarchy, and you're doing an MSc in this.
Yeah.
What would you change about the current hierarchical scheme of corporate estate agents?
So I think we have so many layers of hierarchy that we actually just don't need. And I've been trying to work out the last couple of years, why do we have them? And I actually think they're there to serve the management. So we have people who are promoted into management roles, great people promoted into area management, regional director roles, whatever it might be. And their role is to manage and watch and micromanage. And I actually went for an interview a couple of years ago, and there was a 5-page job description, which was basically all how to micromanage the micromanagement. And I just thought, well, this is a non-existent role, really, as far as I'm concerned. And so I didn't pursue it any further than that. Looking at why we have those roles and actually what value we think they're giving and what people actually need. We have great computer systems now, great technology that allows us to be in touch and see what's going on all of the time. If we're not trusting our people, if we're not empowering our people, if we're not sharing conversations across hierarchies, up hierarchies throughout organisations, we're missing out on some tricks. And I think that's where we could go.
Okay. So if you were actually parachuted into, say, Countrywide or LSL, what would you actually be saying to the leaders and their strategy to enable them to work better and be more profitable?
I think if we're talking about it from a organisational structure point of view, that there's so much with things like Countrywide in terms of all the brands and all of the diversification.
Because that actually worked quite well. If you actually talk to people from Countrywide, each brand was kind of run as a mini micro business, and the love that people had for their, the boss of each brand was, they'd walk on coals for them. You wouldn't get that in your LSLs and your carnal sequence.
Maybe not. I don't know enough about.
I've not come across it.
Yeah, I don't know enough about those organisations. But I also say, why on earth do you want someone to walk over coals for you? Like, I think there's a whole thing about how we frame what good looks like and how we see people as doing the right thing for their organisation. And actually, if you're dragging people over hot coals, I'm not particularly interested. The way I work as a leader.
But if they want to walk over hot coals.
Well, it's kind of like, and why are they needing to do that? We're not in an industry anymore where we need to do that. We have got great technology, great resources that actually leaders should be empowering people to reach high and get into, the sky's the limit thinking rather than being dragged over hot coals.
And what would your advice be to negs and managers who feel they're being too micromanaged themselves? What advice would you give to their bosses in corporate land? And I suppose this could work just as well for independents as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's finding your voice within that and actually starting to talk and realise what do you want from your career. And being the change you want to see. So I've thought sometimes I've been in that position, I've been frustrated and you just want to leave and say, this is all just very annoying. But actually that doesn't help anybody and we end up fulfilling and going on in a continual circle. Start to find ways to have that conversation, start to bring ideas to your boss, start to say, actually, when you do this, it doesn't help me. But if what's your objective? What are you needing from me? How can I help you as my manager to get what you need?
Do you think we all of us take enough responsibility in talking to our bosses?
I think we try to sometimes. One of the phrases I hate, and there's a few phrases I hate, is, my door is always open. And I think that negates responsibility then from the boss to actually make it a welcoming door to walk through. You have to, as a manager, as a leader, be on the other side of that door. You have to be with people. You have to be the one actually making it possible for them to come through there, not putting people in a position where they have to come to hot coals or go through hot coals to work with you.
Thank you for your time today.
Pleasure.